Yeah, we are live.
All right.
I saw Austin in the chat. We should make him a moderator. Let us know how our frame rate and audio sound. Once again, us testing everything out. We think we've got everything figured out as far as like broadcast quality goes, but I'm also seeing like 17 frames per second on our upload, and that's not what we want. I'm gonna try closing Discord. Maybe a few. All right. Cool. You want to tab us over to the slides and get started?
Get moving. All right. Hello, guys. Once again, I am Sarah, the marketing director for REVN, and I am joined by.
Hey, I'm Silas. I'm the creative director. You're not going to introduce me?
I'll let you do what you said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm the creative director here at Ambitious Games.
Right. So this week for new content, we have bunches and bunches of flavor text, which I might have to have Silas elaborate on what that means exactly.
Sure. So we've been working on the world building, the lore behind Revan for the last several months. We brought on Gwyn as our narrative director. She's been doing a wonderful job behind the scenes, building out an entire codex of information about the game and its world. And we are starting to reveal some of that to the players now. So you will see flavor text like this in the shop when you go to unlock abilities. And we're also going to start showing it in other places throughout the game. It's a little bit buried in the menus right now, so don't worry if you haven't seen it yet. We're going to be putting it more in front of players in weeks. We're also going to be sharing some of it on social media, on the Instagram channel and Twitter. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be highlighting some different abilities that have what we call flavor text. It's just a few pieces of information about the world that might be relevant to that ability, like what you see on screen.
Sweet. All right, in terms of balance changes, the minion move speed is increased, the flamethrower was buffed, the energy cost reduced, and gauge damage was increased.
Alistair's been pretty adamant that flamethrower needed a buff. He shouted a bunch of numbers at me this morning. He was like, yeah, flamethrower needs this. It's not good enough, so we're giving it a nice healthy buff this week.
All right, control resist and gear spec was nerfed. The jetpack no longer takes time to refuel and now instantly refills the fuel when the cooldown finishes.
Yeah, that last piece there, that's a piece of feedback we've been getting for a long time. The way that the fuel on jetpack worked was a little bit unintuitive and sometimes frustrating to players. I don't know if you ever got a chance to use it.
Not yet.
It was sort of like, it would be in cooldown, so you'd have no fuel, and then it would like, when it finished the cooldown, it would start to fill up with fuel. And if you started using the jetpack while it was refueling, it would like reset the cooldown, and then you might have to wait seconds for more fuel. So now it's just an instant fuel up once the cooldown ends. And I think it's going to feel a little bit more responsive to players.
I will let you take the lead on.
Okay, cool. So what we've got here on screen is the new HUD. Our graphic design team has been putting together a bunch of mock-ups for basically redoing all of the UI in the game. So our first look here is going to be at the HUD, and in coming weeks you'll get to see our redesigns for the crafting menus, main menus, lobbies, all of that will be getting redesigned as well.
And this is or is not live yet? That's work in progress.
This is not live. This is a mock-up of what it will look like when it's finished, but none of these changes yet. We should be starting to see some of these things come through pretty soon. I think some of the things that I'm personally looking forward to with this is some improved clarity on player health. You'll see that we've got little notches on that green health bar. They'll kind of give you a better sense of how much health you have if each health or something like that. I think we're also going to see some improvements to the way status effects are shown. So like whether you're damage from being on fire or stunned and that kind of thing, we're going to be maybe not shown specifically in this mock-up, but we're going to be revisiting how that information is conveyed to the player so it's more readable. And I think we're also just in general just cleaning up the UI and trying to make things more transparent so you can see the gameplay better.
All right, major bug fixes for the week. There are no more floating guns in the lobby.
Yeah, this was kind of a side effect of the new weapon swap animations. I think you've probably seen those where you like toss your gun and
Yeah.
it dissolves. When that came out, it kind of snowballed into this bug where your guns would just float in the lobby and your character wouldn't be holding it.
That's crazy to me how you make one change and it like something.
Yeah, that's game development for you. So we got that bug fixed in this patch. We also fixed some physics on various skins.
The wonky physics. It's a
Wonky
particular
physics.
word choice.
Yeah.
Like that.
So the Tyrant and Rex skins have like those chains that like off of the shoulders and things, and they weren't working properly. That should be fixed in this patch. We are aware of some ongoing issues with like the shoulder pads on some of the characters will like sort of fall off and then reattach themselves when you're running around. So we're working on that, but
Okay.
we are aware of that issue. And again, weapons floating around the map. Sometimes when you would like toss your gun and it was supposed to dissolve, it would just like stay there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that should be fixed. Well, so if you see any of these bugs, please report them after this, so we can continue looking into them if they're still a bug.
Right, that is it for this week. As usual, we have our weekly events listed here. Our playtests are Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Time and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And of course, our community streams, which are being posted now on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. As always, we really appreciate your feedback. We had some really great playtests last night. I think we played maybe 4 or 5 games in a row. There were
Nice.
some really close matches. Talking with Alistair this morning, we're really happy with the changes to the meta and the balance of the game over the last couple of weeks. We know when we made the weapon power changes about a month ago, it kind of just disrupted the entire meta, made a lot of things overpowered or underpowered, and we are starting to see things swing back into place to where they should be. We highlighted a couple of ideas of things that still need to improve, but definitely feeling like the game's in a much better place now than it was last week. Little quick sneak peek at some of the balance work we're going to be doing next week. We're going to be looking at minion waves and how fast they spawn. So right now, I believe they spawn every 30 seconds, and sometimes that means that like you're pushing into the enemy base and they destroy your minions, and it takes like a minute or longer for more minions to arrive as reinforcements, and that can really disrupt the flow of the game and cause a player to maybe leave their lane and go somewhere else, and sort of abandon the lane and that kind of thing. And so we're going to be looking into increasing how fast minions spawn, but we don't want to disrupt the economy of the game either, because the faster the minions spawn, the faster you can kill them, the faster you can get resources from killing them.
Sure.
So we're going to look at adjusting the resources gained from sort of counteract the increased spawn rate. So that's something to look for in the next couple of weeks that Balance Team will be working on.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys.
Cool.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.